So what happened today?
I don't know. You explain the story. You were there for it.
Shush. Little miss had a little accident today. She's been in the ER for about 5 or 6 hours.
I'm working on 6.
Working on 6. She fell and has a hairline fracture, 2 hairline fractures on her left wrist. And so she gets to be in a splint for
a week
to 2 weeks.
and we get to come back.
Hopefully it's only a week. So a Monday to a Monday, but we'll just
Play it by ear.
Yep.
Hey guys. I just wanted to give you a quick update on Faye. She's doing great. I know the last video you just saw was her at the hospital, but she didn't have to have a cast. She didn't need a, she did need to wear a brace for at least 2 weeks, but it's more of an as needed basis, but it's better than what we had anticipated after being at the hospital for 7 hours. And so that's good. And I'm grateful that she didn't have to do that. Unlike other circumstances that could have happened. The main thing that happened was, so the story behind her going to the hospital, I kind of explained while we were at the hospital, but in a little more in depth. So, being first-time parents, you learn as you go. It happens. Babies fall. They reassured that a lot. They're bouncy, which is what they also reassured us. And they also heal very quickly. But what happened was she was sitting on the coffee table on the bumbo. I had just fed her, and I thought she was just fine sitting there because I didn't realize how wigglewort she'd become, how strong she'd become. And I went to go do something on my computer, and she was just an arm's reach from me. And so that made it a little harder for me to come to terms with what happened. And it was one of those things where I know I could have prevented it, but I felt like it was supposed to happen as a learning experience. And but she was sitting on the coffee table in a bumbo, which has a PlayStation in front of it. And she, I guess, just started scooting her legs, like bouncing like she does, towards the edge, and I don't think she realized how close to the edge she was. And I was on my computer looking something up for school, and excuse me, and it was, how to put this, she fell backwards off the bumbo, and all of a sudden I didn't realize she had, and then I heard a thud and her start screaming, and I was able to pick her up and console her for a minute, and then I called my mom to see, because she always is happy when she sees Grammy. And she wasn't consolable at that point. And then when my mom was like, okay, just bring her over to the house. And so I brought her over to the house. My mom, being a registered nurse, she just started snuggling her, and then she just started feeling for anything bad. And if she starts crying, and then but when she started holding this one spot, she screamed, and she's like, okay, she needs to go to the doctor. And I called my doctor, and she recommended us go to the ER. And because they didn't have any things open, and two, it was an injury that was an emergency injury. And so we called the doctor after that, and then I called Taylor, and I'm like, hey, I need to take Faye up to primaries. And he's like, do you need me to come home with you? I'm like, yeah. And I'm happy he came with me, because I was panicking and I was freaking out because, well, I was trying to stay as calm as possible, but I was kind of like having a minor anxiety attack, just because, yeah, my baby just fell off a coffee table. And I'm like, I was just in arm's reach of her, and I had my back away for 5 seconds, and she fell. And so he came home, we drove up to Primary Children's, and the thing is I was afraid to talk to a social worker just because of things happening in the past. And they made sure that our story was consistent, and they ended up not bringing one in because they're like, okay, they're not bad parents. I'm like, no, we're not. And so we went to the hospital, we were there for about 6.5, 7 hours. Excuse me. And we went back and forth to x-ray so many times. Poor girl. She also had a CT just in case, because she had like a little bruise on her head over here. And that came back normal. She loved the CT. She was very calm. I think it was because she was able to have mommy and daddy there with her. But after the hospital stay, we were able to take her home. We had a relaxing night the rest of the night, and then she proceeded to have a splint on for a week, and so that was fun. We had to give her a sponge bath. And not get it wet, because if you got the cotton underneath it wet, it would have broken down the skin. And so, but I know this is a long update, but it's what happened, and she's okay now. There's still days where it still bothers her. That's when we put this brace on her. But she's a strong, resilient little lady, and I'm very grateful for that, and we are very grateful for that. And it's something that we learn from. We don't put her on anything anymore. We don't if she's on our bed, she's surrounded by pillows and blankets so she doesn't roll, because she's starting to crawl. But for the most part, we put her on the floor, or we're holding her, or she's in a pack and play, or she's on the floor playing, and please, if you want to continue to just watch our family, we have some major things coming up in the future that we want you to be a part of. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, our video, and don't be afraid to mention us to other people, because we're beginning vloggers, we're beginning YouTubers, but we want to share and make these memories and grow our community, so that we know we're not just doing this just to do this. We're doing it to help other people relate to other people. We want to relate to more audiences, and it's just something that I feel like we needed to do, especially with COVID, because COVID is, yes, it's been a hard year and a half. Yes, it ruined a lot of things, but it also has given us opportunities to do other things, and get together in many other ways, and we're seeing the fruits come from that now. Well, we love you guys, and we want you to continue to feel loved.
Like, okay, the other one. Leg warmers.
Thigh high. Zelda
Knee, what are they called? Knee highs?
Yeah.
But for babies.
Oh, they have words on them. Oh, never mind. It's just
Nintendo.
it's, yeah.
Branding.
Yes.